Welcome to Go Get It's podcast we haven't decided what we're doing anyway. I am Colby.
And I'm the Ram Burglar. But you can call me Fee.
Oh, like Ram Ranch Burglar, or what are we doing?
No. I like to ram you while I burgle your house.
Okay. That's, all right, well, you did just say that.
That is something you can't take back.
Yeah, it's out there, it's out in the public. What am I going to do about it, you know?
Listen, just because I no longer want you to come to my house doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, listen, just because like I've reconsidered the fact that our podcast should exist doesn't mean anything. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Colby, out of all the things that I've said over like the 2 years we've been fucking podcasting, this is the one thing.
This is it. You've crossed the line into poor taste.
I think I've crossed it many times before, a long time ago, and yet here you are.
Here we are. Here, you and me together.
Just every time you start, you're just like, oh god, I gotta talk to this guy again.
Oh man.
Fucking.
God. So today we got some fucking games to talk about.
Fucking games.
Real gamer hours out here.
Hell yeah. Maybe we could throw some trailers up in the background and we talk about them.
Yeah, it could be. That may happen. We'll see. It depends on how much I want to do. Anyway, today was the PlayStation State of Play.
Not only was it, I mean, it's still going on as far as I know.
It's not. It's over.
It's over?
Yeah.
Oh man, how anticlimactic. They had like a winner or two, but that's about it.
Yep.
I don't think it was anything to fucking I don't know, get my wallet ready for. No, yeah. I take that back. I didn't see the trailer, and I'll probably do it in a little bit, but I do want to see the new Dynasty Warriors Origins trailer, because if you don't know, I'm goo for fucking Dynasty Warriors. I'm fucking
it's true
cuckoo for that game. Love that game.
Like the Dynasty Warriors to me is an interesting game, because I feel like since it was released and all of the things like Gundam Dynasty Warriors and Hyrule Warriors, like every time I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I could handle doing another Dynasty Warriors game. Like it's gonna get boring. Like I already played one. I know they're not changing it, right? And then as soon as I start playing, I'm like, no, this kicks ass. I love Dynasty Warriors.
Dude, because like every game it ramps up. Like in the first couple of games you can get like a couple of 100 kills, and then like in the more recent ones you're like just destroying waves of enemies, SWAT, like thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I have PlayStation Plus. You can download a couple of the Dynasty Warriors titles. I was playing Dynasty Warriors 8.
Yeah.
And you just tearing through enemies, just ripping through them.
Yeah, a similar experience with Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity. Like I played those almost 100%. Like I went through all the optional missions. I did like a bunch of extra fights for no fucking reason. And it's just because I was like, man, I really like this. I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. Dynasty Warriors Gundam, like, I remember playing the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
I was like, how are they gonna do? Like, it's easy to think how they did it, but like, because there's so many Gundams that you could choose, just like the Dynasty Warriors, they did it fucking good. And I think it was part 1. I don't know if it was part. It might have been part 1 or part 3. Because I didn't play part 2, but I played 1 and 3. Because there's a story, one of the first characters you could pick is fucking Domon Kashi.
Hell yes.
And guess who I stuck out through it the whole game? Yeah, my boy, Domon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know what it's called. It's like One Piece fucking Warriors.
Yeah.
One? Pirate Warriors. Pirate Warriors One Piece. That's Dynasty Warriors, and I played, dude. I like 100 without buying the DLC for 3, like, and 2. Or 3 and 4. I 100%ed like all of it, and I didn't want to buy the DLC because it was just characters.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I could do without the characters.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know about that.
They added a little bit like story areas, but I'm like 3 levels and like 3 characters. I'm like, is it worth like $8 or $10 or whatever? I'm like, maybe, but like not really.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get what I get out of those games like every time I play one. And 3 like Dynasty Warriors are fucking Pirate Warriors, One Piece Pirate Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
3 is vastly different than 4.
In what way? Like what is fundamentally different about it?
So what's it called? In 3, like it's
in 3 they showed their wieners.
Yeah, in 3 they showed their wing wangs. No, in 3 like it's basic Dynasty Warriors. You know all the buttons like square for light, triangle for heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hit it a few times. Just all the attacks are very over the top anime. But what's it called? In part 4, like you have aerial specials, like you can juggle people in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You have different specials that you can unlock, and you can switch them in after battles. Like you can switch up your skills and shit. And you have like transformations in 4 that weren't in 3. Like I think you could only go to gear 3rd in 3, and in 4th you can go to gear 4th.
Yeah, which to be fair, if I'm thinking about like if they're gonna make another one, and I've thought this since Gear 5th happened, how the fuck are they gonna do Gear 5th, right? Like how do you do that in a video game? Like you have to make the ground bouncy, you have to like.
Oh, that's easy because like they're not going for like graphics. The Dynasty Warriors games are not like fucking high fidelity games.
Mm-hmm.
They're all about putting a lot of people on screen and having the guy that you are be like the most graphical with all the fucking the shit around you.
Mm-hmm.
And Gear 5th I think would be easy because like I said in Pirate Warriors 4, you could be Gear 4th and you can have like 2 or. You could have 2 of the different transformation, like regular, or you could do Snake Man.
Yeah.
And in Snake Man, like your arms are just fucking going all around the map.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy. And I think they could do Gear 5th easy. Like they haven't made him DLC, so I'm guessing they're gonna make another one.
Well, I have like. So Gear 5th is supposed to be like having ultimate freedom, right? And like obviously it's a video game, you can't do that. But like one of the other things that Gear 5th does is like the ground turns bouncy. You can just like bounce off of shit, and like you punch people and their torsos expand, right? Like I want to see some shit like that. And I imagine that's not the easiest thing to do, but like that's what I want to see.
It just depends. Like he could just be hitting people, and then like instead of them just like dying and fading away like normal deaths, like they could have special deaths when he's in that transformation where they just like inflate and float away or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe they get blown away. It just depends. I'd be happy either way because like I know they're gonna add some like crazy shit in that game if they do it. And they got more. I don't know. They added a few Wano episodes in 4, but like they probably have the whole Wano arc in 5 if they made a 5. You get to be Kaido in 4, and God, I don't know. If they started from like the beginning and just do every arc, they kind of did that in part 4, but it was just kind of like on and off, like they just snip it through. This game would have to be big, but I think One Piece is one of those games that is really good, like that they did it.
Yeah, I like one of my favorite things about playing Hyrule Warriors actually is that they added so many different characters to it, and like looking at the lineup for One Piece Pirate Warriors makes me also be like, oh man, like you could get in a Yamato, you could get in a Momonosuke.
Yamato is in 4.
Yeah, dude, like that's like That's like, especially the Wano arc is a good like prime candidate for like, just chuck some vassals in there. Like obviously you got like Zori, you got Sanji, you got your Namos, you got your Jimbos, you got your Bimbos, your Choppies,
Brandons.
you got your Brandons.
I think what would be cool for the new one, adding the Wano bad guy, like the what are they called, the top four, like the top.
Oh yeah, the Tobi Roppo.
Yeah, fucking the dinosaurs, Queen, King, add all of them. Have like in Onigashima, just having a big battle in Onigashima. You could be Big Mom in 4, but like it was kind of, I don't know, because like they're really big, so like you're just fucking plowing through people in 4 if you pick Kaido.
Yeah, but fuck Jack. No Jack. Jack isn't invited.
Look, Jack Weevil. They have to put him in there.
No. Weevil, yes. Jack, no.
Jack who?
Jack's the third in command for Kaido. There's King, Queen, and Jack.
Yeah, I'm thinking of who Jack is. Is that the guy who was in charge of the prison?
No, he was on Zoe. He was like the Zoe guy, you know. He was like a big...
Oh, the one with the tusks?
Yes, that's
the
the one.
Mammoth guy?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him.
Nope, he's not invited.
You could. Why not? What didn't you like about him?
Well, because first off, he can eat my balls, and second off, like, he was like built up to be this like big, like, oh shit, it's fucking, oh god, it's Jack, oh fuck, and then as soon as you get to Wano, King and Queen just like punk him out and turn him into a little bitch, and so like at this point, it's like I don't need that anymore. I don't need him.
To be fair, like Jack was underwater for like a week, like not breathing, and he lived.
Great. Can't wait. That riveting gameplay, that is. Put my man underwater. Have him fight for air.
Have him fight for his life. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I'd add every character. Don't even skimp out on even the shitty character. Just add that guy in the box that was on that island at one time from like the first season. Put him in there.
Yeah.
Put everyone in there. Put Carrot in there. Put Pedro in there. Put fucking all the...
Senor Pink, get him in here.
Oh, dude, Senor Pink? Hell yeah. My favorite fucking...
Characters we don't even know anything about, but we've only seen pictures of them, like fucking Figureland Garland. Throw them in there. Who gives a shit?
Put in fucking the News Coup Morgans.
Yeah, put in Big News Morgans. Fuck it. Why not?
Hell yeah, why not? Why would 5 be constrained to just one storyline? Why wouldn't it be just like a mishmash? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so instead of a Pirates, One Piece Pirate Warriors 5, make like Shonen Jump Warriors and have it Dynasty Warriors style.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess.
Right?
I like...
Fucking, you got Goku on the roster, Luffy, Naruto, you got Bleachigo.
I mean, you remember whenever they did a game like that, though? And it was...
Yeah, but that was a fighting game.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good. No, it wasn't.
I remember playing it and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then I left. And then like the more that I kept watching people play, I was like, oh no. Oh no, it's not that good. Oh no, come on, man.
Yeah, but with like a Dynasty Warriors, you don't have to worry about like one-on-one fighting.
Yeah, true.
It's all about fucking battlefield combat.
Yeah.
Combat.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Do a Hyrule Warriors thing where it's like, we've assembled everyone from across the multiverse to fight Frieza. I don't fucking know.
No, like all the big bads, like not Frieza, like Beerus.
The worst thing about Dragon Ball is that like almost every villain becomes a friend at some point, except for like Cell, I guess.
Yeah, except for Cell. Cell and fucking who's Goku's brother? Not Raditz, the other one.
No, Raditz, yeah.
No, from the Tree of Might. Wasn't that his brother? He looked just like him.
From the what?
Yeah, the Tree of Might movie where fucking Goku's other brother, who looks just like him, exactly like him, fucking comes and plants the tree on Earth.
I never saw this movie, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Fake Dragon Ball fan. I didn't know.
I never claimed to be a real Dragon Ball fan, so don't fucking come at me with
Wow.
that.
Fucking fake ass anime fan right here.
All
Never
anime. Wow, that's a
all anime.
that's rough.
Just you didn't see this now. Ooh. Okay. Now you just rustled my fucking ass.
Rustled your whole ass? Okay,
My
damn.
whole ass. All of it. Just every ass I own.
Every ass. All of the asses.
All of my asses.
Not, yeah, okay. I'm looking at, like, the characters, and, I'm looking for the word brother. I think you're just stupid. Yeah, I think you're just stupid.
Do you not see the picture of him?
That's not Bardock, is it?
No.
Okay, then it's not his brother. I know that.
Oh, you're a fucko.
I
That's
Googled
who you
it.
Are you looking at the fucking wiki?
Am I looking at the wiki? Yeah, I was looking at the wiki, yes.
Oh, you're looking at the wrong wiki.
Okay. All right, well, why don't you tell me who it is then? If you're so fucking confident, do it.
I'm looking at it.
Okay, do it.
Turles.
Turles. Oh, turtles.
Turles. A Saiyan who once a member of the Saiyan army went rogue and ventured off in the group, conquered Turles is the main antagonist and the supporting antagonist turned rival and blah, 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 blah. Aside from different skin tone and retaining his Saiyan tail, Turles looks exactly the same as Goku does. There are slight differences in hairstyle is that Turles is given at least 2 devil horns.
Oh!
Let's see. Goku look-alike facial patterns similar along saying Turles
Oh! Is Turles actually Goku's brother? Officially, there's no blood relation between them. Oh!
Don't have any distinct physical link. Turles wears gray and black battle armor and is the brother of Goku.
That is not true. You just made that shit up.
Listen, as a kid, I was like, that's just his brother. That's his brother. They look exactly alike. I don't care what anyone says. That's his brother. The
thing is, it's never brought up in the movie, and apparently the only place where it's been acknowledged has been, let's see, some media refers to Turles as Goku's older brother, while others indicate there's no relation between them. So there's a bunch of different things about, like, yeah, it's the same. Nah, they're different. But also, this is another occasion of where you just get bit in the ass by having the same character design twice. You're like, this is the evil version of this guy, and people are like, okay, it's like a different person. Are they related? And you're like, does it matter? Shit, I guess I should have thought about that, huh?
Yeah, it does, Toriyama. Just because you like Goku's hair so much, you can't put it on someone else.
He's like, I can't listen. I'll put Goku's hair in fucking in Dragon Quest all I want. I'll do it right now. I'll do it. I did it in fucking. Did you notice? I put a red-haired Goku in Chrono Trigger. Did you see that shit? No one called me on it then.
Didn't you notice I put Goku's face on Dragon Quest VIII on the main character?
On every character?
It was just Goku's face. Look at the Dragon Quest VIII fucking hero and tell me that's just not Goku.
I mean, that's how my man draws faces.
Yeah, but specifically Dragon Quest VIII.
You won't be able to convince me that it's reasonably a different thing. They're all the same.
It's just Goku. I'm looking at him now. It's just Goku's face. It's just Goku in a bandana.
Good old Goku. He's with us. He's in our hearts.
He's in my spirit. He's in my soul. My veins? Possibly.
Could be.
Right there next
powering
to the
up.
cholesterol. Powering up.
By the way, just like as a brief aside to also anime stuff, we started watching the most recent season of Demon Slayer. And my favorite thing about it is they're talking about, like, oh yeah, whenever, like, some swordsmen will manifest a mark on themselves whenever they're, like, pumped up in battle and they're, like, you know, executing at a higher level.
They got a boner.
And yeah, that's it. That's it. That was the end of the story. Thank you for spoiling it. No, the thing that's interesting to me is that Demon Slayer tries its best in a lot of instances to be like, we got to make this realistic. And so They're like, okay, so what, like, whenever you manifest a mark, what's going on there? And the best explanation that they have so far is like, well, my heart rate was like over 200 beats a minute, and my body temperature was like over 102 degrees. And I was like, I kind of appreciate that they're not like, it magic, don't think about it. They're like, the blood is going through your body so fast and so hot that you're able to do a bunch of shit that you can't normally do.
Why are they trying to ground us in reality?
Because it's cool.
There's giant demons everywhere. And, like, they can manifest elements into their weapons.
Yeah. It's cool.
Does a sword's blood rate run high? Is that what happens?
It's, listen, it's it's about the technique, okay? It's about the technique.
Oh, okay.
And so you notice all of it comes from breathing good.
Yeah, if I got really good at breathing,
yep, which you're not. Let's be fair, you're bad at breathing.
Listen, I have asthma. It's not my fault.
Compared to the people in Dragons, we're all bad at breathing, apparently.
According to who?
The dragons?
Kimetsu
no, yeah, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Dragon Slayer. Sorry, Demon Slayer. Christ, I looked over and I still had Dragon Ball wiki up. I was fuck.
I was like, which dragon? What dragon do you know?
Dragon Ball Z.
Ball Z. Ah! Dragon. Up the dragon. I never thought it's supposed to be Rock the Dragon, but I thought they were always saying Up the Dragon.
I never knew what they were saying. I thought it was just like fuck the dragon.
Fuck the dragon.
Hell yeah.
Dragon, up the dragon. Come get me.
Now, by the way, if there are any Japanese fans that are listening, they're like, what is this song you're talking about?
Yeah,
that's the theme song for Dragon Ball. What are you talking about? They're like, you mean
we didn't Chala.
That's the song. Yeah, that's the one.
I was deep in Dragon Ball when I was a kid. Rock the Dragon was always good. I liked watching all the specials. I don't know if they're canon, all the movies and specials. Is Garlic Jr. canon?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Is Turles canon? Is Bio Broly canon?
Bio Broly, yeah. I think Broly is not canon. I think the movies are not canon.
Well, now he is in Super.
He is now because he was in Super, but yeah. In general.
Yeah, that's true, because, I mean, how could they meet him for the first time if he had a movie already?
That's right.
Right? So, yeah, that's true. So, like, Piccolo's brother isn't canon. Slug is his name.
Piccolo's brother, Slug. What? Christ! What a That's how you know you parents do have a favorite. It's not you. Yeah, these are my children, Piccolo and Slug.
It's fucking Mufasa and Scar all over again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Scar's actual name. I don't remember. It
Jeremy.
starts with an M. No, it starts with an M, but I think it's African for trash.
Oh my god.
Like I could be wrong. Let's see. What is Scar's real name? And not like from FMA.
Yeah, not the one from FMA.
Scar is born to Adi and Uru and given the name Taka. Before you go saying it's a pretty name, keep in mind that it's the word most commonly used in Swahili to indicate trash or garbage.
Hell yeah.
So naturally, Taka would have a bit of a chip on his shoulder. How fucking shitty parents do you have to be like, yes, Mufasa, a strong name for the next leader, and I guess that fucking garbage over here could be Taka.
They must have been racist. I'm gonna come out and say it. Mufasa's parents are racist because they were like, look at our beautiful boy with his big luscious brown mane of hair, and then they had Scar, and they were like, ew, look at his big dirty caca hair. It's all black and disgusting.
Look at his doo-doo hair.
I hate my trash son.
That's what we're gonna name him, Trash.
Get over here, trash! You're not even good enough to kill, idiot!
That's who you are, Gus Bus.
Gus Bus.
Let's see, Mufasa, in the name of African origin, means king or ruler. God damn.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, Mufasa, when translated directly, means better than my brother and worth living. That's crazy. It's crazy that it means all that.
Listen, I mean, despite being named fucking literal garbage, he did become Lion Hitler.
He did.
And he had the Third Reich, and he did starve the land and make it like bone dry.
Yeah. I don't know how one lion did that, but good.
Oh, he did. He did it. And then Simba came back and used his lion magic, and it became all green again.
Yeah, Simba, when translated, means white savior. It's really fucked up.
He was played by what's his name?
Haley Joel Osment.
No, hell no. So young Simba in the movie was played by that kid from Tool Time, Tim Allen show.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And
JTT.
I think an adult Simba was played by Michael something, the guy who has fucking shaky syndrome now. What's it called?
Michael J. Fox shaky syndrome. God.
What's it called? Like fucking when you're all like
Parkinson's.
Yeah. Parkinson's. That guy. Shaky syndrome.
Shaky syndrome. Fuck.
What if all diseases were just named silly? Like, would it be as like bad? Be like, I'm sorry, your grandpa's come down with a shaky syndrome.
He's got the shaky syndrome. Ah, fuck.
Instead of, I'd say instead of cancer, like I don't even know what you'd call it. A big horrible death disease.
That's right. To be fair, excuse me. There's a disease that like people with uteruses can get, where like they don't really know what's happening, but some shit happens and like your like eggs won't leave, and it like fucks with your hormones real bad, and it like makes it like really easy for you to gain weight, and you get acne. Yeah, it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. But like there's a bunch of other stuff that happens with it, and so like it probably should be reclassified and studied as something different. However, shorthand for it is fat ugly person disease, so that's good.
Wouldn't it be like eternal like puberty disease?
Yeah. Listen, nobody would say that we shouldn't consult you for naming things, V. I think you're spot on. We should be doing that.
Listen, I haven't missed once in all my fucking years of conventional naming.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could name anything. Just give me one thing I can name it.
Okay, name a park.
A park like a children's park,
yep.
Or like a theme park?
Children's park.
J.K. Morgan National Park.
Who the fuck is J.K. Morgan?
I think he's a lawyer.
Do you mean J.P. Morgan?
That's what I said. His
the banking company?
Yeah, J.P. Morgan.
I looked up, and there is a J.K. Morgan Pets company.
Well, okay, that one, because then you can have pets at the park.
Oh my god.
Never miss, baby.
There's just times whenever you know that someone deserves to be hit with a steamroller, you know?
Well, bring it on, Dio. Fuck.
Yeah. Road roller! Fuck. I was watching clips of the original Stardust Crusaders OVA. Man, that animation is wild. It's great. Dude, I want to go and watch the whole thing.
Fucking Dio's face when he's fucking in that moment, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, dude.
They animated the shit out of him.
I remember the first time that I saw a clip from that is like it was like a clip on 4chan, and I watched it and was like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, oh yeah, this is like an old OVA. You can't find it anymore, really. I was like, what the fuck? But I want to watch it.
I mean, you could probably go to an anime pirate site and watch it.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of places to get it now. But like at the time, this was like 2005, and like one of the, like, there were only a few ways to pirate things. Like, you could do torrents, and so that was one thing, but there was also, like, oh yeah, you can get it from, like, this IRC server if you, like, are, like, really care about it. Or, yeah, I'll upload it to the Flash board on 4chan in fucking 48 parts. Gosh, shit.
Oh, fuck. You just gotta follow the thread for days.
Yeah.
I think that's like a 2-hour-long movie, or it's a.
It is an OVA, yeah.
Sorry. I think I don't know how many episodes there are, but I remember someone talking about it. But I've only seen the fight, the Dio and JoJo fight. And
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before, but if you're gonna watch JoJo, you have to watch Stardust Crusaders in sub because it doesn't sound good in dub.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Chris Sabat. I just don't like you as Dio.
Yeah, listen. Specifically, like I also listened to the OVA in English, and that's not good either.
Yeah,
it's very blit. I'm looking at it. Every episode is 34 to 36 minutes, and there's 6 episodes.
I think it's just because Japanese do over the top like screaming better than Americans. Yeah,
they do like. Not like they can do sort of like theatrical voice work a lot better. Like you can, whenever you're doing it in English, you don't really get the license to be like over the top and like, I love my friends. Like you hear that and you're like, it's fucking cringe. But you hear that in Japanese and you're like, nah, that's what it sounds like in anime. Like there's a precedent for that. You don't hear somebody in English say that though and be like, yes, this makes sense.
Yeah, you can't. If you hear like Tomodachi Daisuki, that sounds better than I love my friend. Yeah, I don't even know if I pronounced that right. I know Tomodachi's friend. Yeah, I know Daisuki's I love you or something. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it goes in that order. I don't know if it's Daisuki Tomodachi. Yeah, listen. All I'm saying here is that, like, if you're gonna watch something that's sort of on the upper end of the, like, you know, not realism spectrum, trust the Japanese. Trust the Japanese voices, you'll be fine. Always bet on Japanese. But I will say in what is it? JoJo Battle. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. No, not the game. The arc. I think it's the second arc. Oh, Battle Tendency. Yeah, Battle Tendency with Joseph Joestar. I like watching it in dub because the voice actor for JoJo is the guy who did number 1 from Kids Next Door, and I like it. I like his voice acting. Good for you. And also I like him being just a smarmy little bitch with an English accent. Yeah, that's fair. So. In Japanese, you don't pick up on the English accent part. Which is interesting. And you get to hear fucking the Nazi guy going, "Oh, German engineering is the best." God, so fucking good. I know people like, oh God. There's a thing on Twitter like where a lot of God, what's the new generation like? Fucking not millennials, generation, the new one. Mm-hmm. The kids watching like old anime and they're like, oh, this is awful. Like, watch this. There's so many like people making fun of other people and they're making fun of fat people and gay people. I'm like, dude, there's a time, Holmes. Yeah. At the time, it was just like, it was totally fine to be like, I don't know, you're looking a little fruity over there. Like, that was like an okay thing to say. People were like, get him. Dude, I'd still laugh at that because like old anime, like you can't fault the anime and you can't change what they're saying because like it changes the context of the character. Mm-hmm. But I could still watch it and be like, this is great. There are definitely also like there's a couple of times where something something happens in a more recent game or piece of media, and I'm like, oh, that's from a different time. In particular, the one that I'm thinking of is like, I'm thinking of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, where just all of Wedge's character is like, oh, I really wish that I had more food. Oh, I just love eating so much. I'm such a big fat guy. Fuck, come on, dude. They ramped it up in Remix. He was like, Oh God, I'm glad the mission's over. Now I can drink all these 2-liter sodas and eat this fucking pizza by myself.
Yeah. Hey, can your mom make me another pizza? Shut the fuck up, Wedge. Just be cool. It's you. We don't have to acknowledge the fact that you're fat. You don't have to be like, oh well, I've really got to get home so I can have a snack.
And I gotta feed all my cats because I'm lonely and no one likes me.
Yeah. Yesterday I was so hungry I ate one of them. Don't tell no one though.
Don't come to my house. Horrors beyond horrors. Fucking just dead animals. Just a bunch. He's like, I'm saving them for later. And the other ones get to pick off what I don't eat, which is usually nothing.
I just like, it makes me so frustrated when something like that happens, or whenever like something that's like over the top fan service happens in a show that I'm really enjoying. I'm like, ah, fuck, did we really need that? Couldn't you have just like stopped and not done that?
I'm fine with the little fan service as long as it's not like fucking what is it? Fire
Force,
where that girl just does anything and all of her clothes just blow off her for no reason. I'm like, why is she made this way? This is stupid.
Dude.
It's not the fan service that gets me, it's just stupid that it happened.
Yeah. I also think that like the other thing that I'm thinking of is My Hero Academia, the fucking little pervert kid. That kid can die. That kid should have straight up died.
Oh, Minetta's funny.
No, he's not. He fucking sucks. He's the worst.
He's a great bull that likes grabbing titties.
It's terrible. It's like it undermines so much of like the serious stuff, and so like I can't take it seriously because the writer's like, oh no, I really like this kid. He's really funny. He's like, he's grabbing boobs and no one cares because he's like, he's a little scamp. No, fucking not cool. Just don't put it in.
Listen, they're all teens. Their hormones are raging. Shit's gonna happen. Honestly, I don't care. Like, he doesn't show up enough for me to care. But what's it called? I remember a lot of people making a big stink about Keijo. You probably never saw it, but it was basically it was a parody sports anime, and it's all about girls. It's about that sport where like the girls stand back to back and bump their asses off the platform into the pool.
My God.
But the whole fucking show is about them like turning it into like a fucking action sport, and they have ass karate and tit fucking jitsu, and like they fight each other, like it's all in bathing suits, and that's where the fan service comes in. But like they don't show like anything explicit besides like bathing suits, and like someone's fucking shirt rips, but like it's always covered.
Yeah.
But the fights are so fucking goofy and fun and over the top. Like, how can you not like it? And not everyone, a lot of people on Twitter were like, this is so stupid. And like, why are they fighting with their asses and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I'm like, dude, it's not that serious, bro.
If it's like, if that's the point of the show, like if I know that's what I'm getting into, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a show about girls that like fight each other with their asses, I'm like, okay, that's clearly not a serious show, and it's also like it's targeted at a certain audience, and like that's probably not me. Totally fine.
Dude,
I'm fine with that. The thing that I hate is whenever I like a show and then it's ruined by one character doing that. I'm like, this doesn't fit. Take this shit out.
Hey, that's fair. I haven't had a lot of shows that do that. Like, I think Black Clover is one of the more recent ones where there's this character who it's a dude, and I forget his name, and he's a strong magician or wizard or whatever they're called. I forget. Wizard, and he's like real strong and powerful, but he has like a little sister complex, and that would be fine if he's just like, oh, my sister's like cute and whatever, and she's too pure for this world. But he gets a little bit creepy with it, and even the sister's like, dude, stop.
Yeah, fucking Mashal has that character that's like, oh, I really love my sister, and everybody's like, you're a lolicon but for sisters, and I was like, can we just ignore why is this character here?
I think why in Mashal it works is because like it in other shows it's just like, oh yeah, that guy's weird, but like everyone doesn't like him for that in the show, and
Yeah,
they like constantly shit on him for it.
yeah,
So I think it's fine in Mashal because they like acknowledge that he's fucking weird and gross.
and he's definitely both of those things.
Yeah, and like I said, it's fine with that because like they know that it's weird and gross, and everyone like shits on him for it. Whereas other shows they don't do that, and I think it's really should be shit on in a show. If you're gonna have like a character be weird and gross, you gotta have characters acknowledge that it's weird and gross and shit on them for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have to be out of the team, but you gotta be like, hey man, you gotta stop being weird and gross on the fucking battlefield, like on main.
Yeah.
Like save that shit for when we get home, and then we'll just ignore you.
Yeah, please. To me, like, excuse me. To me, things like that make it difficult to recommend to someone too, because especially if they're not someone that knows, like, all right, like you're getting into some shit, and like, you know what things to avoid. If you're like, oh yeah, watch this show, and then within 2 episodes they're like, what's up with this character that does this weird pervy thing? And you're like, oh god, I forgot. We're already so deep in the show that I'm like, oh, these are all characters that I care about, and I forgot about this shit that happened in episode 4. God, no, I'm sorry.
Listen, you could definitely recommend any anime. Like if you're recommending an anime to like a beginner, recommend them like the big shows, like what I did my sister. I'm like, you could watch Tokyo Ghoul. I know you like that. She watched Promise Neverland, which is like a really hard start to watch an anime because like those are both very gory and like serious animes. I could probably recommend to her like Promise Neverland. She'd like that. Since that seems to be what she kind of likes, but I don't know anything else. But if you're gonna recommend like someone a beginner, be like, do you like fighting? Do you got Shonen Jump? Do you like Yu Yu Hakusho? Do you like cards or like TCG? Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking, you have all this stuff. But then you could be like, by the way, there is this one character in the show. Just ignore him. He's not that great. Like fucking, if you're gonna watch Naruto. Maybe don't look at Jiraiya that much when he's not training Naruto.
Yeah. I mean, even Dragon Ball, you're like, don't pay attention to Master Roshi.
Yeah, don't pay attention to Master Roshi.
Don't pay attention to the pig. Don't pay attention to... Man, don't pay attention to a lot of things, okay?
It's just Oolong and fucking Master Roshi. And in Dragon Ball, mostly. In DBZ, they don't really make a fucking a place in that show, so
yeah,
it's fine. I don't think there's any other like, I don't want to even say problematic characters, but like iffy characters, like for like newcomers, because new people be like, this is what you watch. I'm like, look, if you're gonna watch animes, there's like a few things you gotta understand. There's gonna be like cultural differences. There's gonna be girls with big titties and like very revealing clothes. It's gonna happen. You just gotta be fine with it. If you want to watch like a good story, sometimes
that's very confrontational. You just gotta be fine with it, okay? Get over it.
You just, after a while watching a lot of anime, you just don't even see it anymore, right?
Yeah, but that's why, like, especially, like, I don't watch anime, every day, and so it makes it even more jarring whenever you get to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm excited to start this new show. Like, you get like 2 episodes in, and then you meet a character that's like, hey, I dropped the remote in my boob. Ah, you saw my boob. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, I have other things to do.
Don't make me feel embarrassed while I'm watching.
Yeah, like, and also it's just unnecessary. Just stop.
What about Delicious in Dungeon? How far are you in? Are you current?
Current as of, yes, there's like one more episode that we need to go, yes.
So like when they found spoilers, when they found Fallon
Mm-hmm.
and they brought her back, they had like the shower scene when they were like, "Oh, we're so," they were just full, like naked and hugging and shit.
Yeah.
And like that was a little out of character because you never see like fucking Fallon or Elf Girl like in revealing clothes. And then
We've never
when
seen them interact before. That was totally fine and within character, I would argue.
yeah, but it is like I said, it was revealing. Like we've seen her like kind of shower where she had to shower, but like they didn't show it. But then they show them like in the hot tub, and they're just like, "Oh, Fallon, I missed you. Come and rub my titties."
That's
That
God.
was
You read something very different into that than I did.
No, that's not what they. I'm being stupid, but you know what I mean. Uh, what's it called? That was the episode that everyone's like, "Oh, Marcel is a lesbian and Fallon's a girlfriend." Now that's what like on Twitter, everyone is just like, "Marcel's a lesbian, confirmed."
I mean, like the thing is, none of that was out of character though. It wasn't like a weird thing. It wasn't a weird thing to be like, oh, they're these characters that are like taking a shower or like they're taking a bath together. They're both girls and they both care about each other. Like all of that sort of is within the bounds of what I would expect. It's pushing the limits of like, maybe this is a thing that I wouldn't expect if this was a live action show and like the tone is the way that it is. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities for me. What would have been out of the realm of possibilities is if they revived if they revive Fallon, right? And she's like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm covered with blood." And then they're like, "Whoa! Yo, what are you? You're naked. Look at your boobs." Like that would be awful. And that's some shit that fucking Minato would do. And that I would be like, "Stop! I'm in it. You're ruining it for me."
They did do that one time when she turned into like the Chimera Dragon. And like her boobs, like her under boobs came out, and they're like, "Oh, Fallon!" And then like it closed up on her boob, and they're like, "Oh man!"
They're like, and they're reacting in a way that's like not like, wooga. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fun. Oh no, that's kind of like fucking Laios when Kakro is they're like, "Hey, you should change and take off your clothes, but let's get you covered." And she's like, "Why would you want to see it? Like, there's nothing sexy about my body." And Laios is like, "How many nipples does she have?"
That's my God. That's my favorite thing because he's like, no, I love monsters. Just show me how many nipples you have, please.
Dude, I think I laughed like real loud when that scene showed up.
So did I. I thought it was the funniest shit.
God, I love Dungeon Meshi, Delicious in Dungeon. I recommend anyone watch it. If someone who's new to anime asks me for a recommendation, I'll be like, watch that. Watch Delicious in Dungeon. Because it's so easy. It's fantasy. It's like high fantasy. They have like a system. They explain stuff like right from the fucking jump street, and it's not all that confusing.
No.
Especially like if the person who's never seen anime is like familiar with like fantasy settings like D&D or whatever. Which I would say if you're into like D&D and video games, there's no way that you're not into anime.
Yes. And that's like God damn. That's another reason why, to go back to fucking Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, why whenever Dyne just has a bunch of monsters come out of his arm like a piece of shit, I'm like, none of this is congruent with anything that's been set up so far. Like, Dungeon Meshi does a really good job of, like, there's monsters in the dungeon, this is how it works. And like anytime that they add more to the lore, it's all within things that are believable because they set the shit up at the beginning. Like, yeah, magical races exist. Magic exists, and we have practical ways of going about things, and this dungeon is weird because like this is the thing that's happening with it, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting. So if they add a new piece of lore to it where they're like, oh yeah, the dungeon doesn't actually like break because there's little tiny bug monsters that fix everything, you're like, yeah, okay.
And they had that one episode where they explained dungeons in depth in the magic school, which was very, very practical, and I was like, oh, I get it. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. So yeah, like I said, watch Delicious. It's really funny. It's one of the very few shows that I'll say the dub is so good. The dub is really good.
I haven't seen the dub, actually.
You haven't seen the English dub?
No. Why would I?
What? Because like that's how it was first when I put it on when I saw it on Netflix. And I started watching. I was like, okay, this is actually really good. The voice acting is really good. And now I don't watch it in sub because I like the dub so much.
Wow. All right, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah, I watch subs all the time. I watch sub all the time. I think I prefer subs more than dubs because going back to earlier, I think dubs can be real cringe sometimes. But now
Definitely.
in Delicious and Dungeon, Senshi sound exactly how I imagine in English. Marcel, I love Marcel's voice actor the most. Like she's so emotive. Like she stays on par with Marcel, and that's how I imagine like who she is if she spoke English.
Yeah, that's fair. It's hard to find a voice cast that like nails it like that for everyone. So I'm glad that it did. But yeah, there's like no reason why I would have. I turned on the episode and was like, it's in English, stop it. And it turned to Japanese, and that was it.
Nah, usually I do that, but I kept hearing it, and I was like, you know what, I'm fine with this. So that's just me.
I'm at the point now where I have so little trust in a dub that as soon as I hear English, I go, stop.
Because like I told you the other day, I'm like, hey, I shared that Smosh video with you. I'm like, the guy from that Smosh video, he's fucking Laos, and fucking the guy who's playing Senshi is a YouTuber. I forget his name.
Yeah.
And he's like a really good voice actor. So
it's good. Like it's good stuff.
Good. It's all good. But yeah, no, I fucking love anime, and going back to like translation stuff. In the new Paper Mario, the one that I just picked up, 1,000 Year Old, the remake, man, that game is so fucking good. They changed not a lot, like the graphics look so much better. If you were to do like a side-by-side comparison, they just pop out more. The music is so much better. Like I don't know if they got like an orchestra, like a live orchestra or something, but it sounds so much better. Like it's so much more upbeat. The battles like all have different fucking tones to it. They did change some of like the words. Like I don't know if you know, but there's a ghost named Vivian. Don't go to like Twitter and type in Vivian because
I know Vivian is trans, and also everybody thirsts over her, and also everybody's a bigot about her for some reason. Great,
dude. Even before, like in the original, like she was like otokonoko, which is like Japanese, not for like trans, but for like a girl or for a guy who feels like a girl and dresses like one, but they're not like transitioning, but they just live as a girl. Basically, and in they just confirmed it basically in the remake, but all without saying it for sure.
Yeah,
but they changed some of the way that like her sister was like speaking to her, like because I think like she was way more harsh. Like she was like, "You're not a girl, you're a boy. We're the Shadow Sisters. How can we be? You're a boy." And then Vivian's just there like, oh man.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man. And Vivian's cute. But if I had to, I don't know, if I had to pick like a Paper Mario waifu, it'd be between.
No one asked you to do that, so it's weird.
It'd be between like Vivian and Goombella. I don't know. A hard choice. Goombella's cute.
A hard choice, but I gotta make it. You did ask.
Listen, Colby, since you want to know, I'm just gonna go out and say it. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It'd be Goombella. There you go. Are you happy, Colby? You forced it out of me.
Listen, I'll play along with this bit. Why?
Because she's sassy. She's sassy and she's smart, and she's pink. Which is all the makings of a fine waifu. Yeah, she's pink.
Is that true?
She's pink and has a. What do you mean? Is that true? I played a game.
I'm looking at her, and I mean, I guess she's kind of pink. Yeah.
What?
She's like a pink brown, like a brick color. Like a light brick.
Goombella. She's pink. I got a weird image when I.
Me too.
Oh no! I don't open images.
Oh, I already did.
Oh yeah, this is the third one.
Yeah. Okay. So she is kind of like on the pink side of brown. So that's yeah. Okay.
She's like flesh colored.
Yeah. Which is kind of gross. Now that I'm thinking about it.
It's weird to say. But she is. I like her. I like her. The way she like, what's it called? Talks, like her interactions with people when you have her in a party. She's also like really sassy, and she kind of comes off as like she's what's it called? She's going to college. She goes to GoomU. Go Goombas. That's what she says.
Go Goombas.
But she said to me, like, my headcanon is she has kind of like a country accent, like a southern accent.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is about southern accents that kind of like grab my goose, you know?
Nope, I don't want to know. I do need to let everyone know, though, as I just found out, because I literally just Googled the word Goombella and went to images. Now, safe search can be not just on, but it can be blur. So it's like, yeah, give me the image results, but blur them. So I know if I'm clicking on something. And in the first 2 lines, 2 NSFW results for this stupid Goomba. It's crazy.
I live life on the edge. I always have safe search off when I Google stuff.
Yeah, that's good. So anytime your mom is like comes over and you're like, oh yeah, look, like there's oh well, I mean, she's not at my party right now. She's, you know, doing something else, but like this is what she looks like. Oh shit. Oh no, she's sitting on a dick. No, don't look.
Why wouldn't I just show her on the TV? It's so easy to change party members. Look at my phone. Look at my private goon collection.
Yeah.
My goon collection. Fucking who am I, Vosh?
Your mom's like, please move out. Please go anywhere else.
Please, I'm gonna forget this interaction happened. I'm gonna go. Just, no, fucking, I don't know. I think the characters are cute in Paper Mario. All the characters, every character, not just the girls. They're all cute, and they all pop. I hope that enough, because dude, fucking ever since the game came out like a few days ago, dude, it has been fucking popping on Twitter and like everywhere. I hope Nintendo sees this and they're like, well, we should make like a new Paper Mario like with this, where you get unique party members that are like original, that are like old Mario character, what's it called? Old Mario enemies, but like revised to be like party members. Cool. I hope that Nintendo sees that and they make another one, because man, the Paper Mario after Thousand Year Door has been so fucking lame. I didn't like Super. I didn't like Sticker Star. Nobody likes Sticker Star. The Origami King. It just stupid.
I think that's what the problem is that like Nintendo does this thing where they're like, yeah, we want to make a sequel. It's got to be different. It's got to be like, there's got to be some hook that makes it interesting, which is great. Like, I think that's actually a good thing, and more people should do that. How is this different from the previous game? Because otherwise, just play the previous game, right? Or we'll remake the old game. So I get that. However, they really seem to have been missing the mark with Paper Mario for a while, and it seems like they can't figure out what people actually like about it.
Yeah, what people liked about it was the good story, the colorful cast of people that you like meet along the way, and the simple combat. Like, you don't know how fun it is, like just going into combat, having the audience that can interact with you sometimes, having the star power. Also, like, as you level up, you got different badges that can like completely change your fucking battle setup. Just fun locations, like. Thousand Year Door wasn't even in Mushroom Kingdom. It was in fucking Rogueport. It was a separate place.
Yeah.
And they got to like play with different location settings while also having familiar characters. Like, it's way different than just regular Paper Mario 2, because regular Paper Mario took place in like the Mushroom Kingdom. it's just that now that I'm playing this game again, it makes, like we talked about it too the other day, just our turn-based RPGs dying out, right? And now that I'm playing this game, I'm like, oh man, this game really, really changed my opinion back to maybe not all the way,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just genuinely so fun, like with music and your part, like, and it again, it's simple, two person battle, like you and your partner, and you have enough partners that you could swap during battle, that you have different ways of attacking, and badges give you different like not spells but like skills to do stuff during battle, and you have enough it's like a rock paper scissors type fight where you can't jump on people with spikes, but you can hit them with your hammer. And if someone's on the ceiling, you need a partner that can hit someone on the ceiling. Or if they're out of reach, you gotta jump over there. It's just it's kind of like, it's not too in depth, but it's in depth enough to keep you engaged.
Well, that's what I mean, is like, on paper, you're like,
Mario.
okay, like Mario, like Origami King failed, obviously. And
Yeah.
why is that? Is it because the writing is bad? Is it because the combat was in a style that people didn't really enjoy? Like, it's clear that they're like, okay, we like this property, we want to make a new one of these, but we have to change stuff about it because, like, that's how things go. That's Nintendo's thing. It's like, we can't make this game again the exact same way, even if we change all the characters. Like, the core of it has to be a little different. And it seems like the things that they keep changing recently in Paper Mario are things that, like, people are like, don't change that. Change something else, idiots. I will buy another Paper Mario from you. And then they're like, okay, we changed this. How's that? Like, we spent all this time and money. We think this is going to be a great product. What do you think about this? And you're like, it's shit. Go back to Thousand Year Door, idiots.
And that's what people want. Like, it doesn't matter if all they have to do is do new badges, have a new badge system. Maybe you put badges on the partners, have new partners, have them do different things. Because all the partners, not only are they like in battle, do they do different things, but you use them in the outer world, like to reach places or to get to somewhere. And then in A Thousand Year Door, you had like the origami skills, where like you can get on a platform, turn into a plane or a boat, or like you can go flat. Like, that was different than regular Paper Mario, because in the original Paper Mario, you couldn't do that.
I mean, same in Origami King. There's mechanics in there that aren't in any other games, but for some reason, there's something about it that's missing from
it's the combat.
Is it? Here's the thing: is it the combat, or is it the combat? Is it the writing for some people?
It's the combat, because the combat isn't turn-based anymore in Origami King. Instead of having an outright battle, you have to solve a puzzle to fight the enemies. So in Origami King, whenever you get into a fight, and fighting's not even that important. There's no levels in Origami King.
Yeah.
Instead of like when you get into a fight in Origami King, you go into this circular plane to where you have to shift the enemies to line up, and then you hit them in the line and just win.
Yep.
And no one liked that. That's boring.
It's a little more than that. Like, they introduce more mechanics than that, but that is effectively it. Is you're like, and it is turn-based, by the way. You like do all of your movements up front to like set enemies up, and then you execute an attack on them. But yeah, it is a lot of like, okay, I want to execute an attack on like, all of these characters. So I like do this to put them in a line, and then I do that to like group them up into a box, and then I do my box attack. And like, that's interesting, but it's different enough from like the combat of the original that people aren't super into it. And like, I would argue also the writing in some instances, because I've seen like, I didn't get very far in Origami King, obviously, but like, I have seen people being like, oh yeah, this like the writing on these characters is not very good. Like the companions in all the other games are way better. And I believe it.
Yeah. It's because I don't know if it was Miyamoto or if it was the other guy, the one who passed away,
Iwata,
who said, Iwata, that said that after Thousand Year Door, they're like, okay, we want to make more Paper Mario games, but we don't want them to change established characters to look unique.
Mm.
And you could tell that because after Paper Mario Down Your Door, your all your partners were just pixels, like the pixel people.
Yeah,
And
in
then
Super Paper Mario, yeah.
yeah, and Sticker Star, you didn't even have partners.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one for the Wii U, you had the bucket friend, and it was just lame. What you want is like a colorful cast of team who meets Mario and good writing. And Thousand Year Door has really good writing.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these narratives that are being spun that are really fun and really funny. And even in the regular Paper Mario and in Super, because I've seen some like people play it, like the
I
writing's
played Super
really
Paper Mario, yeah.
yeah, the writing's really good. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make up for the gameplay in my opinion, but it is really good to read and watch, like the character interactions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what like they're missing. They got to combine, like, you have to have partners. It has to be turn based. That's the core of Paper Mario.
Yeah.
It started as a turn-based RPG with really good writing, simple enough for anyone to pick up and play, but deep enough for people that like RPGs to stay invested.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what all the Paper Marios are missing after Thousand Year Door.
Yeah,
They keep losing elements each game after.
it's definitely something, right? Like it's I think it's probably a combo of that and a couple of other things, because it just doesn't feel like a cool Paper Mario game. And at this point, anytime that they announce a Paper Mario game, especially now, I'm like, no, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. Because like, you know, you think about like when Origami King was initially announced and the trailer came out, I was like, whoa, this actually looks pretty fucking good. And then I watched 30 minutes of somebody playing the beginning of the game, and I remember thinking to myself, well, I hope that it improves after this. We'll see.
I saw it and I was like, wow. I before seeing any comment, I was like, does this mean they're gonna go back to like Thousand Year Door, because like this is all big, everyone's turned to origami, you're gonna get partners, you're gonna fight. And then it just turned into not that. It just turned into not that. You had generic enemies, and then you fought office supplies. Which some people were like, oh, the office supplies were cool. They would have been cool if you could fight them like directly, but like having to do this stupid puzzle for boss battles to line things up and to like boost your attack, on paper that seems fun, but like in execution, like that's not even an RPG anymore. It's like a puzzle fighter.
Yeah, that's I'm right there with you, that I feel like they're trying to change and update some stuff that probably doesn't need changing or updating. And they're like not focused on changing, on like updating some stuff. You know what I mean? Like it seems to me that the things that they're changing are things where they're like, oh yeah, this, like, people are gonna love this thing that we changed, and then what's actually the case is they're like, well, but I like that thing. You could just give me a new version of that thing, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo's like, no.
Like I said, Paper Mario should have always just been about turn-based RPG in different locations. It doesn't even have to be about stars, because like the first two were about stars. In the first Paper Mario, you had to save like the star people from like fucking heaven or whatever, because they Bowser stole the star rod. In part 2, you collect the star crystals to open the Thousand Year Door, and who knows what's behind that door, because the evil X-Nauts, the original fucking OCs of that game, are after it, and they kidnap Princess Peach and put her on the moon. And like I said, the game after that doesn't have to be about going after like fucking couple of, or I think that's what it is. You have to go after MacGuffins. That gives you a reason to go to the new area.
Yeah.
And that gives you like creative freedom to create new areas, or even like grab from old ones. Fucking throw New Donk City in fucking Paper Mario. Like, put new areas. That's the thing about Mario. You could put him in any setting and make it work.
Yeah, I like, and nothing proves that more than like the Super Mario RPG remake, right?
Yeah.
I think to your point about Nintendo being like, we can't have any more, like named characters that are like unique, but are just existing villain types. Paper Mario proves that's a fucking stupid idea too. So that's a weird thing that they just decided on, and I don't like. It feels like a philosophical thing. So like, I'm a programmer, and at work, a lot of times, and I'm very guilty of this. It's hard for me to stop doing it. I'll have a philosophical argument about something, how something should be done or how something should be named. So it's like, oh, well, where should this piece of data go? Well, it makes sense to put it on this thing and named this way because but then it's not generic enough. It should actually probably be further out and like tie the two together with some sort of ID. Well, but if we do that, then you're going to have to do 2 network calls. Like, it's things like that where you just get so bogged down in the details that you're like, once you implement the thing, you're like, shit, I should have done it this other way. I just wasn't thinking about like how the reality of using it and how much of a pain in the ass it is to use this now. And I imagine that's something very similar to like coming up with that weird requirement of like, you know what? Like, people just ask us like, oh, well, I can't stop. Like, what message are we sending to kids if we're like, well, Goombella's your friend, but like kill all the other Goombas? Like, we can't do that. We can't make the villains sympathetic. So stop it. We can't do that anymore. Make companions that are bucket. We've never had a bucket before. Make a bucket.
But like, that's the thing. They established like the bad guys in Mario, and who's the good. Like, not all the Goombas are bad Goombas in fucking Paper Mario. Not all the Koopas are bad Koopas. Just the ones that are like on the bad guy side. It's very like cut and dry. It's like, I'm not gonna be like, oh well. I think it's good that you could be like, well, if Goombella's friendly, why are we fighting these guys? Because they're bad.
Yeah.
Like, not all of them are bad, but some of them could be bad.
Yeah, it's like, it's an interesting conversation to have, and also, I'll argue, if you take a look at the most recent game, if you look at Mario Wonder, a good chunk of the enemies in that game are just wild animals that happen to be in the stage, and you're like bouncing on them and shit, and it's like, Mario's kind of a dickhead, actually. Like,
yeah, how is it different from any other Mario game? If they're like, if you got good versions of them on your side, like how do they feel killing all these people? Probably pretty good, because Mario's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
He's been killing for years. He'll kill again.
If you take a look, there was a Wired interview, I think, with Miyamoto, and they were like, oh, we're going to ask some like deep lore questions about Mario. And one of the questions they asked is, they were like, is Mario 3 a stage play? Or Mario 2 a stage play? I don't know.
No, Mario 2 is a dream. Mario 3 is a
play. Mario 3 is a stage play, yeah. And he nodded as he was like, yes. Guess what?
Yeah.
That shit doesn't fucking matter. It's a Mario game. No one plays it for the fucking story, dude. Like, you don't need to have like, well, in the established Mario canon, actually, you can't have the goop. Like, fuck, dude, it's Mario. It's not that serious.
In Mario 1, it all happened. In 3, it was just a play, so it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Who cares? You're still showing Mario on the screen doing what he does, jumping on people and like beating up bad guys. What does it matter? Like, if that was the case, Bowser would have been dead years ago. You've thrown him in the lava how many times?
Yeah.
And his kids?
Yeah, and his kids. And it's one of those like, it's one of those things where you've clearly thought about it too much. You're too deep in the weeds now.
Yeah. And how old is Mario? Because he's been doing this for years, and all games are canon to him. So like what now? Like, is he just like some octogenarian? An 80-year-old.
There you go.
That
got
fucking just running around jumping on people. No, he's like in his 30s, I think it's established, or 20s.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, this isn't that serious. If this was like, I think the other piece of nuance here is that like, it's almost like he's taking it as serious as like a Final Fantasy game, because even fucking Zelda, like the timelines are not like are not in sync. They don't matter that much. It's like, oh, some things from this timeline, something from that timeline, and they get bogged down in a bunch of details, which like I really like, actually. I really like that. Like I like getting into the weeds, and I like, you know, like a big continuous story, and like, oh, it's fucking so cool. Look at, yeah, the world flooded after this game, and that's why like this, like I like things like that. But to get in so deep and to be like, well, we can't have a good Octorok. It doesn't make any sense. All the Octoroks shoot things at you and they're evil. Like, that's dumb.
Why can't you? Like, for real, why can't you?
Yeah.
Like, you could have just good versions of enemies and come up with an explanation. And you know what? No one would care. No one would really care.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know what Nintendo's thinking. Like, after Thousand Year Door, if they want to like veer off into some weird direction, why not just make a new IP?
Mm-hmm.
But they use the Paper Mario because they're like, oh, it's brand recognition and we want to make this paper setting, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you just fucking changed up the formula to something that no one liked. When you could have had a new IP, you could have done Super Paper Mario and had it the way it comes, but then shift back to like turn-based RPGs, but like with Sticker Star and Color Splash and Origami King. Make a new IP, because you've already lost the core of what Paper Mario is. Because even Super was still an RPG.
Yep.
Having you level up and jump on enemies a number of times and gain abilities and have partners. But after that, you got lost in your own sauce and decided to go off do something else.
Yeah, and like I'm fully about like, you know, trying a new thing and having a new experience. And there's nothing more emblematic than this being like, Nintendo's got some, like, Nintendo tries to do some new shit and tries to push boundaries in certain ways, but they don't get it right sometimes. They really got it right with Breath of the Wild. Like they basically from the documentary, they basically had a bunch of legacy engineers that have been working on like Zelda forever. And they were like starting to work on this new Zelda game. And then they were like, you know what? Like Zelda's kind of getting stale. People are kind of getting like over it. Like even there's only so many times you could be like, oh, we introduced a new item. It's a top. You sit on the top and it does some top things. Like before it's like, I'm kind of over this. And so they brought in, like, they hired like half of the team to just be like new people that had never worked on Zelda before, had no experience with it, and they just they had like half of them, and we're like, okay, come in and just question everything. I want you to take nothing at face value. Don't think about the previous games. Like, I want you to like take a look at what we have and then ask questions. And they were asking shit like, why can't you jump? And they were like, well, I mean, you just like, we don't really want you to like get up into like areas you're not supposed to be in. Well, why do there have to be areas you can't get in? Well, because then we'd have to like program that, and like, you know, it's kind of like a story based. Well, why? Can we just have a map that they can explore fully? I guess. And like, that's where it all starts, is like, you can jump, you can climb, you can go look at whatever the fuck you want. And now that's how you get Breath of the Wild, where it's like new, it's fresh, but it's still Zelda, you know?
Yeah. I think what their biggest hurdle is, what are they going to do now for Zelda? Especially on the horizon of a new Switch.
Oh, I could tell you, because they already told us. Somebody was like, you did Tears of the Kingdom, and that was like a sequel to Breath of the Wild. So like, what are you going to do for the next one? Like, are you going to like change it up? How are you going to? And they were like, no, we're just basically going to make Breath of the Wild again. They were like, we're sticking with the open world format, being able to climb on stuff. We're just going to go to a new Hyrule. And I was like, good. That's what I want.
That's just Zelda now.
Yeah.
That's just what
what Zelda is.
It's just going to be Breath of the Wild style from here on out in new locations.
Yep.
Why can't they do that with Paper Mario?
Yeah.
Like I said, they could have done all their wacky shit, but with the new IP.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been fine. People wouldn't have been as upset or fucking disgusted with it. And not disgusted, but like not like turn away from it.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have been like, well, this is a new IP and I see what they're trying to do. But like, now Breath of the Wild you could be like, okay, this is like the fucking the big Zelda game, and then if you want a Zelda in like in another, in the old fashion, you could be like, okay, this is the offshoot of Zelda,
Mm-hmm.
and just have like a top-down dungeon
Mm-hmm.
crawler, right?
Yep.
And then this is why I like Nintendo, but I don't, because they're like, oh, well, we don't want to fucking try a new IP, because what if it doesn't work?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you did Splatoon 3 times, and they're all the same game with
Yeah.
minor tweaks. Like, what the fuck?
People
It's
people
gonna
do
work.
love Splatoon. Like Splatoon
Yeah,
worked out for him. It's just it's not a thing that I enjoy.
I'm not gonna shit on people for liking it. I'm just like, Nintendo, you did the same game 3 times with minor tweaks each time. It's just that, like, try a new IP. People are gonna like it. You know why? Because you're fucking Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
You have fans that love everything you put out,
Yeah.
no matter what. And even if they don't, you'll still get like millions of people playing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, okay, the prime example of this going the other way, where they're like, okay, we're gonna update a bunch of stuff, and like this is gonna be way different. Is Star Fox Adventures, where they were like, let's take this existing dinosaur game and shove Star Fox into it for no fucking reason.
Dude, and the people who are working on that didn't even want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they did that for brand recognition, because they didn't want to try fucking a new IP that was Zelda-like. They're like, this is very Zelda-like, but they're kind of like furries, so I guess Star Fox can do it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just like, ugh. Why didn't you just let them have the new IP? You could have had that IP and then crossed them over later in a later game.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have them tied together, and there's no way you can untie them. And the game looked a lot better before you fucking put Star Fox in it for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, fuck, Nintendo. Like, people already like you. You don't have to try so hard to keep them engaged. They're gonna fucking play your games. People fucking bought 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
Like, you made a sequel. Nobody bought it, but like, people still fucking look at it and they flock to you, and they maybe they'll get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to try so hard to be like, well, we need to stay on brand. We need to keep our IPs. They gotta do stuff. You can do different things. It's fine. And not even just Nintendo. PlayStation and Microsoft can do that too. The amount of times that they just have their same IPs doing, like, they don't focus on any other new things. They focus on all their IPs. They're like, it's so big, we gotta work on the sequel. We gotta work on like something else. It has to be fucking God of War. It has to be Last of Us. It has to be Uncharted. No, it doesn't. That's the thing. No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything else. Drake, fucking Uncharted Drake, he's already had his adventure. Someone else.
Yeah.
Something else in a new way. You could still have the same engine, but it could be something else.
Yep.
The Last of Us, we don't need a part 3. Fuck that. We just don't need it. We didn't need fucking remasters of part 2 and part 1 on PS5 getting sold at fucking full price again.
Yeah, the remaster of part 2 is egregious. Remaster of part 1, I get if it's like the show just came out, you really want to play the original game, the only way to play it is like on PlayStation 3, and like, we could just like update the graphics, re-release it. But come on, part 2? Come on, dude.
Exactly. Like, work on, like, even the people who did Crash Bandicoot, Toys for Bob, they made the Crash Insane trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, and they did a fantastic job. They didn't say, well, let's fucking remake Wrath of Cortex. No, they made their own game. They made their own new Crash game, and that sold fucking well, and the game's really good. Just keep, like, if you want to do something like that, it doesn't have to be this fucking super AAA game where you gotta keep remaking the same game over again, but tweaking the graphics a little bit. Make new IPs. We need more like fresh takes in gaming, and that's why I think gaming is going like the way it is right now, because no one's having a fresh take. They're just so worried about keeping their IPs refreshed by making sequels or whatever. And like, there's a game coming out that I'm excited for. That's why people are excited for indies too.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a there's an indie game coming out doing what Nintendo doesn't, and making a Legend of Zelda fucking maker.
Mm-hmm. Which is pretty
It's like
sick.
yeah, it's an indie game. It's basically Legend of Zelda maker. Make your own dungeons. You could share them around. You could have more than one person. Like it's a co-op. Like it's like Four Swords. So
Mm-hmm.
you can make a dungeon. You can go in with like 3 people or 4 people and explore dungeons. Explore people's other created dungeons. That's fucking sick. Nintendo, why haven't you done this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the other half of this equation is just how expensive it is to make a game now. Like games cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. If they're a AAA game, it costs millions to make a game. And so the thing that you need to get buy-in to do that is like, well, we need to be sure that this is going to sell. How do you make sure something is going to sell? You make it part of a mainline game that always sells. So that's how you get things like, okay, like we can't take too many risks with this like mainline IP because it can't derive too far from what like this series should be, but it has to have that name recognition. Otherwise, who knows if people are going to buy it? And if we're going to spend, $12 million making it, we have to make, $20 million on it in order to like keep in business. And so that's why I think it's tempting, especially for some studios. This used to be the case some years ago, and it may still be the case, but like the way to get your foot in the door was to do a remake or a remaster or a sequel to an existing thing. That way you get enough money to where you can make your own original thing. And it's because it's like, okay, we need to earn enough money so that we can pay everybody to make our own original thing, because it's fucking expensive to make your own original thing. And to make it like a AAA quality, it just takes time and resources, a lot of them now. And so that's how you get to the point where you're like, oh yeah, we spent $60 million on this game, and well, it better sell 200,000 or more copies, otherwise we're going to be underwater on it. And so you're like, well, like we have this dinosaur game, we've already spent like $6 million on making it. How are we going to make our money back? Well, make it a Star Fox game. People are going to buy it. Are people going to be pissed off that we added? Nah, don't worry about it. Fuck it, just do it.
I think it's fine if company like every company has like 1 or 2 like AAA games that they're working on. But like if they're like Microsoft buying up all these fucking studios,
Yes.
have them work on smaller indie titles and put out smaller indie titles.
Yes.
Just to keep people like engaged with the company. Don't put out like fucking what was it, Starfield, and then be like it's out there and then it's shit and then no one's buying your games.
Mm-hmm.
Have like put out like indies in between the big titles so no one's like really worrying about the fucking big titles that's coming up in like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Have small games, and like if you're like Sony, like put out something that looks great. You already have an engine, so you already know how it works. Just have your people make a fun game in that engine, just like they did with Astro's Playroom in part 2. They just put that trailer. You already had the assets, just make them look better, and then have it be in a fun setting, and that'll get you like hyped to play for a while you're waiting for the AAA, and then have someone work on something like not so fucking console, like what's it called, like GPU pushing, just not so graphic intense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's really hard about this, is that it's much easier to say that than to do it, because you only have so many people and you only have so much money to work with before you run out. And so like for a bigger studio, you can do that, where you're like, okay, we have this team that is working on the next engine, or like they're working on training up on Unity, or on like the newest Unity or the newest Unreal Engine, right? And they're going to build a small game in Unreal Engine 5, and we're going to take the lessons from that forward into like the next big thing. Like it makes sense on paper to do that. But then you start to get deep into like a game project. You're like, ah, shit. Well, it looks like our deadlines are actually slipping, and like this was harder to do than we thought. And man, if only we had moved to Unreal Engine 5 before. Now we're going to have performance issues. And like, there's a bunch of stuff that like ends up happening during game dev that like make timelines go harder. And so from a business perspective, you have to be like, how much money do we have and when the fuck are we going to run out? Like, we have to put something out there to make money, please. And it's hard. So like, I can't fault, especially like an independent developer for doing something like that. But like Microsoft with all the money in the goddamn world, like make something cool that is also like really high quality and new. Like you have all of the money. You can just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. With subscriptions and people like buying games in your store, like people with like Xboxes going and buying games from the Xbox game store.
Mm-hmm.
People from Sony, like they're getting money that way. They're getting money from subscriptions. Nintendo's doing that with subscriptions. Like, take all that money, put it towards your AAA, but like set aside a team to do something. Maybe like if you're gonna have someone work for your company, like pay them to learn Unity, like the newest. Like, pay them to learn what your game's gonna run on, and then just have them like fucking spec into that. Like, don't just be like, we're hiring you. Do you know how to use this? No. And then just do nothing with it. Like, have your fucking employees that are gonna be like making the game in like a Unity and like a fucking game thing. Have them like pay them to learn it.
Yep.
Or if you're gonna go to school for it and learn how to like program or develop games, like put that into the curriculum. Fuck.
No, that's the thing. A lot of places do. Like,
I know it changes every couple of years, but if that's the case, like pay your employees to like learn the new fucking dev kits.
Yeah, to get retrained. Yeah.
You just can't bank on them learning themselves or learning on the fly. That's gonna make the product like shittier or take longer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen,
I love games. It's just, man, the state of gaming right now is kind of all over the place. Indies are making a big fucking rise right now because they're actually doing like fun stuff with new ideas that people want to see.
Yeah,
so.
they can take the risk. And the thing is, like, I feel like if you have all the money in the world, you have the ability to take the same risk that an indie does. Because an indie can fail, and it's like, man, I spent a lot of time and energy, and this sucks that it's like that it didn't work out. But ultimately, like, no one's getting fired. You can go find another job. Like, you know, things.
Yeah.
At the very least, the blast radius is smaller than it is for a medium-sized company. But a medium-sized company, you fucking take, you know, one of the whatever Santa Monica Studios, or you take something like one of the Ubisoft ones that's, you know, up in like Montreal or whatever, like that studio, you take that size studio where it's like, you know, this is 200 or 300 people, you know, and we're on a run rate. Like every year we spend $60 million on like, you know, technology, or keeping up servers, our employees, and like marketing and all of that. So we have to make $60 million on like the stuff that we're releasing. So we've got to release, you know, X amount of games, and they have to be making money. They have to make money. We can't take a risk on a project that we think is cool, but isn't going to make money. It's hard. I get it.
And yet there's Sony releasing the fucking Sony handheld that you can't take out of your house.
God. Fucking how embarrassing. Apparently Sony is working on a new like PSP like device where it's like, you know, like a Switch, but it's not going to be the PS6. It's just, you know, it's its own platform. And I don't know why Sony keeps doing this. It works well in Japan. It does not work in America. And it's for sure not going to work now that there's a Switch. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, but all right, sure, let's try it again, dog. If you put, I hate to say this, if you put an exclusive Kingdom Hearts on it, I am going to buy it, and I'm real pissed off about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy it too, dude. That would be like if I could add my PS Plus subscription to it, that'd be like the ultimate. I wouldn't need a Steam Deck because I'd just play all the PlayStation games that I could on there.
Yeah.
In bed, like while I'm watching TV. I hate to say they got a sale if that's what they did. They made a new Vita, and it was just like what did the Vita? They had like PS1, like barely PS2 count.
Yeah, I
Like
think they had some
if this,
PSP games. They had some exclusives, like there was an Uncharted game that was exclusive to it.
if this thing had like the power of like a PS4 or like a high-end PS3 that could play all those games,
Mm-hmm.
like I hate to say it, they got me hooked, dude. It's just that what are they gonna do? It can't be cartridge based. It's not gonna be a UMD.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is it gonna? What would it be?
It's probably going to be cartridge based. Like
Just
I,
download only.
I'm looking. So I'm trying to look at the games that came out for Vita that were like good, and Gravity Rush, a big one. Persona 4 Golden, actually surprisingly a really big one. Tearaway, which I don't think was exclusive, but I think it was exclusive for a while. The Uncharted game. Dragon's Crown, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, God of War was on there.
Yes, there was a God of War game on. Well, God of War was on the PlayStation, on the PSP. I think the Vita did not have that one.
Sequel?
I don't think so. Maybe it did.
I had a PS Vita.
I did too. Embarrassingly,
I can't even remember what games I had on it.
Yeah.
I had a game called, no, that was a PSP. On the PS Vita, what did I have?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
What did you have? Broken promises and dreams.
I have to look it up. Like there was a reason I bought the PS Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just because I wanted it. PS Vita games.
Yep. That's what I just did.
I didn't even have Borderlands 2 and I really wanted it. Man, this is embarrassing. What did I even have on this console?
No one knows. No one in America can remember.
I legitimately can't remember, and I had the Vita. I downloaded. I had Final Fantasy VII that I bought on the market and put on the console. I was playing Final Fantasy VII on the Vita.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I played any fucking first title games that came out on the console. Oh man, that's embarrassing for them.
Yeah, dude.
Or is it embarrassing for me? Fuck.
It's both.
No, it's both, I guess. I think did I have a Ys game? Oh, God of War 1 remake came out on it.
Yeah.
I didn't even play the Uncharted game on the Vita. I had the Vita.
You had the Vita, Fee. You had the Vita.
I'm very embarrassed to say this. It's just I had Persona 4 on it. I had Persona 4 on it.
Yeah, that was it. Persona
4 and Final Fantasy 7 and just a bunch of the classic titles that I downloaded to play on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I watched YouTube on it. And that's it. It's embarrassing. There's no like Vita games that I could just immediately be like, that's it. That's what I got it for.
Yeah.
I just got it. On PSP, there was a lot of games that I played.
Yeah. And I feel like you're probably like, you know what? Probably going to have a good amount of games on the Vita. Psych!
It was. Oh, fuck. That's stupid. Colby, right. I think we're at the
end. It's time. Listen, thank you for listening. If you're listening live right now, you're listening at twitch.tv/GoGettasPod. And if you're not, you should be, because we go live anytime between 0 and 2 times a week, talking about just random bullshit.
Just random shit.
Check out the previous episode. We did anime pitch time. And we're going to be putting up a poll for what pitch you like best.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take a look at that. You can catch that on our social media. We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram. Our shorts that we get, they get published to our YouTube, our Instagram, and our TikTok. But also on our YouTube, you can find this full replay on youtube.com/@GoGetUsPodcast. That's it. And if you're just an audio person, we're on every podcatcher, so you can listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever you want.
Hell yeah. I also had Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 on the PS Vita.
Oh,
Here's
it's the
what
console
I
seller right
want.
there.
Hell yeah, it is. Well, playing it on the go is fun. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into your room. Look at all your consoles. I know you got at least one. Fashion it into a weapon. And then I want you to make the trek to all the big video game companies, and like God of War, I want you to fight them in a fight to the death.
Ooh.
And when you have them on the ropes and they're running away because they don't wanna try anything new, I want you to get your switch spear and your PS sword and go get them.
Go get them. Damn.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, this is metaphorical murder. Just to be super clear here, we're talking about like a fighting a good business fight.
This wasn't a metaphorical murder. This was a pitch for a video game.
Oh.
Yeah, see, your character starts out just angry, so he gets his console and goes after the fake console company.
That's right.
He's not the PlayStation and Switch.
Yeah.
It's the Pretendo Bish and and the Joy Station. Is better.
We have to go. I was like, you're setting up. Oh man, you're gonna get it. I know you're gonna say something for PlayStation, then you're gonna call the Switch the bitch, and that's all it's gonna. And you just fucking. We have to leave. This isn't even up to like second channel quality. We may have to delete this whole episode. I'm sorry, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.